Station.
He was asking. I don't know.
Kind enough to tell me maybe. If I could be with you, that's all I will ever need. I'm following you close, 'cause I want to be free. Still be alone, 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 alone with you now. Darling, come home, come home, come home to me now. 'Cause you've been gone, been gone, been gone for a while. We are alone, alone, alone with you now, now. Now I am searching through every station. I live like elevation. Well, you'll be waiting, I'll be holding all this for you. Longer than evolution, like time was never. Ooh, kind enough to tell me maybe, telling me no it's crazy. When you've been waiting, I've been holding all this for you. Longer than evolution, like time was never. Ooh, alone, 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 alone with you now. Darling, come home, come home, come home to me now. 'Cause you've been gone, been gone, been gone for a while. We are alone, alone, alone with you now, now. Now I am searching through every station. We live like elevation. Well, you'll be waiting, I'll be holding all this for you. Longer than evolution, like time was never. Ooh, kind enough to tell me maybe, telling me no it's crazy. When you've been waiting, I've been holding all this for you. Longer than evolution, like time was never. Ooh, if I could be with you, that's all I will ever need. I'm following you close, 'cause I want to be free. Still be alone.
That is Katastro live in studio right now. You guys killed it. KFMA, what am I saying? Rock 102, but we're live on the podcast broadcast. Please welcome in studio very special guest. You just saw them in a throwback video that's literally a decade old. All right. We got Ryan, Tanner, and Stravs, Katastro here in studio. In studio, welcome, guys.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, so look, we have a lot that we're getting to because they put together an album, and of course we featured the late great Andy Chavez, who was singing in that clip. And as you guys recall, and I've talked about this several times here on the podcast, he passed away. Andy passed away about 2 years ago, and in a car accident, and it was tragic. It was sudden, and it's sad for multiple reasons. Obviously, he was a bright, shining star kind of. He was also a really kind soul, and it was great being around Andy. But I was talking to the boys, and the connection I have with Katastro is the same connection I have to radio. It's the same timeline, and and I was telling them, like, one of my first radio events, and Todd Marley can attest to this. He was there. We were a part with the HQ, the headquarters, the head shop. We did this rooftop, concert thing where we were like a vendor. We were set up there promoting the show that nobody listened to. And on the stage, one of the bands that performed there was a very young Katastro, almost like fresh out of high school-ish, right? And I watched their set within the first year or two that you guys were together. I mean, when did you initially start playing shows? What year?
Well, we started the band in the summer of 2007. So
Right.
that was the first the first show we actually ever played was the last week of our senior year of high school.
Yeah.
That was the first Katastro show we ever played.
So that would have been mid 2008.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we started the band in 2007, but yeah, the first show was
Yeah, so like literally I was one of the first shows I was able to see on this rooftop in Tempe, and you guys, were young rock stars, good looking kids, sounded good. Andy still had that Beastie Boys style delivery, and you know what I'm talking about. And but it was still fun, and you're just like, oh, these guys are pretty good. And to watch the evolution over the years as a fan, and then seeing you start to go on tours with bands like the Dirty Heads, link up, and be able to play Red Rocks and do these things, I knew in my heart, and I know that you guys know this too, that you guys were on that cusp, and of doing it the right way, of building up a fan base organically to create a fan base that would last forever. There's bands that obviously can come and go, or just get instant fans from like crossing over with that one hit. And then there's bands that do it, especially in the reggae scene, like the Dirty Heads, who grind it out, who do shows, who build up fans a show at a time, and then build up that love and connection with people. And then all of a sudden, you just kind of cross that line, and then boom, you're done. You're just touring every summer for the rest of your lives and living a dream. You guys are there. And then when Andy passed, obviously, I felt your loss for not only like your best friend and your brother, I felt the loss of being like, you guys knew, you're like, you made that sacrifice and dedication, and you're like, here it is, it's right here. And so it's unfortunate that happened, but it's great to see. In life, we're going to get these speed bumps and stuff. So you take that kind of negative and you turn it into a positive. And then to put together this album, and then to bring in your friends who you made along the way to help fill in the gaps to make this album. I'm very excited about this album. It features Jared Watson from the Dirty Heads, Duddy B from the Dirty Heads, Slug from Atmosphere, Mouse Powell, the Maine, Jimmy Eat World, right?
No, Iration.
I'm just saying it every episode, man.
Hey, you know what, though? We do have Jimmy Eat World's Old Roads is in our studio in Tempe.
Is it? Yeah.
So
a little piece of them.
Little piece of them there for you.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's obviously a strong Arizona connection there. And was this something initially, when did you guys decide that you have to finish this album or create this album? Or is this something that happily a happy accident? We were like, wait a second, we could put together an album here.
Well, we were in the process of making the album when Andy passed. So we were out in LA working on some songs. And I mean, honestly, like immediately after he passed, like probably weeks after he passed, the three of us were like, yo, we got to open up the sessions and see what we have, because we are very, when we work as a band, we are big into our own production and recording our own demos and stuff and writing together. So like we had all the files, you know what I mean? We had all of Andy's vocal takes. So really the idea first was just like, let's see what we have, and do we even have enough for an album? That was like the first initial like thing that we were scared about. Like, do we even have enough to make a full album? Because we were we had only written like 5 or 6 songs that we knew were like gonna be on the new album.
Right.
But we probably would have kept writing like, maybe 10 additional songs with Andy.
Yeah, and that's usually how it is, right? You write it over abundance of songs, and then you kind of whittle it down to make the album. So yeah, I can see that.
There's usually there's so many, you want to do a bunch of songs and you cut down the ones that like don't really fit, and that was the challenge. And this one was, the songs that we had was what we had, so we had to make the best out of those tracks. So it's like we can't take away the vocals, because like whatever vocal we had of Andy was valuable.
Yeah.
So our only choice then was to like completely strip music. So like some of these songs are very similar to the way we first did it, and then other tracks are like we had to remove every piece of music behind Andy's voice, rewrite new chords to make his line better, because we can't have him redo it, and we can't have him do this next note differently or something. So how do we bring that out the best?
I think that's beautiful, and a challenge as well, right? So because now you're just changing your approach on how you're going to write the songs, and then create an album around it, which you don't get to hear that often, which is fantastic, and it only makes me more excited. We're about 10 seconds. We're going to get on the air. just kind of reset the table. And then I'm playing some Fallen in Reverse, and we'll continue the conversation. And we have a lot to get to. So, Rock 102.1 KFMA, welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. We're live on a podcast broadcast with good friends Katastro, live in studio, or they got a special release, an album coming out this Friday, the entire album, right?
The first next single is.
Oh, next single, yes.
Yeah, the entire album drops on October 4th.
Okay, yeah, I see it right there. It's called Until the End of Time, and we're talking with Ryan, Tanner, and Stravs from Katastro and about creating this album around the vocals that they had recorded from their late singer, Andy Chavez, and with tons of features, including that of Ramirez from Sublime of Rome and the Dirty Heads and more. So we're going to continue the conversation here on the podcast broadcast, and we're going to also play some music for you for Katastro to get you caught up and play a debut as well. I think we're going to break some rules.
Yeah.
So we'll get ready for that. That's going to be after Falling in Reverse with Jelly Roll. Here's All My Life from Rock 102.1 KFMA. Keeping the conversation moving, youtube.com/beefvegan. Clear. All right. So see,
Dude,
that's how
it's
that works.
crazy to watch you do this.
I know. I get that a lot.
Back and forth.
Yeah. They
Wild.
say it's like operating a Zeppelin, right? I try to, do things differently. Always kind of a DIY type deal. So, yeah, I like to keep it moving in the podcast, but also transition and go back and forth. So that's why I call this the podcast broadcast. So we'll have our, radio content on the air, and then we could get, silly and play some, videos uncensored and just be real on the podcast in just 1 hour. Boom. And I know you guys have been doing a podcast for a while, and I've been, I've been jealous of the production of your podcast. I'm like, that's a good looking podcast you guys got. You got a whole studio behind you and everything else. And you guys still doing that strong?
Yeah, we are. We took this week off. I was out of town doing some shows with another artist, but we're going to be right back, not next week, but the week after that. So
yeah, it seems like a full-blown production, right? How many cameras you got set up?
We have 3 cameras going right now. We have a full production studio that's running it with us. We've got there's like a crew. It's crazy.
Yeah, nice.
We're not big enough to really justify the whole crew, but it's pretty amazing because they do a great job. It looks great.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, you do have that, that fan base and that family that's supporting you there too. So it's great. And this day and age, of course, it's constantly create content.
Yeah.
Right, and connect, and that's how it is. You also do some tours with Mouse Powell. So Mouse Powell's part of the family. So weren't you, Ryan?
Yeah, just me. It wasn't a full tour. I went out for about 5 days. So he's, a good friend. Me and Stravs have been writing and co-producing his newest album with him, and I had the week available, and I was like, let's go. Let's make it like a little fishing trip. So we went fished in different spots and then played some shows. So.
I know, this guy, the king of canal fishing, Mouse Powell. I've never seen so many nice looking fish out of a Phoenix canal. It's like, I remember it. I grew up there in the 80s where they would find fucking decapitated heads in that canal. And he's just like, this is a bass. I'm like, don't eat that.
Yeah.
Don't eat that.
I think the only reason Ryan and Mouse scheduled a tour was so that they could go fishing and have an excuse to go.
I was like,
fish in
I can
different canals.
justify it to my wife if I'm getting paid while I go to fish San Juan in New Mexico.
Right?
Or something.
What is there, so obviously you're going to release the album on the 10th, probably do some sort of shows for that, but is there some sort of plan to somehow perform this album? I know with all the features, it'd probably be an impossible feat to be able to do any kind of runs, but...
Yeah, man, so, we haven't announced it yet, but I guess what we can tell you is that we are going to perform again to celebrate the release of the album, and we will be announcing details about that shortly.
Yeah, save the date in Arizona on the October 25th and 26th.
Okay.
But
here, let's get it back on the air. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Here's my goal for this podcast broadcast as I'm hanging out with Katastro. I'm gonna slowly pull out information they shouldn't be sharing with me, and also speculate on what's next for the CD release for Until the End of Time, which is dropping on October 4th. They just showed this track list, and I want to show this on the podcast broadcast so you can understand just the group effort, the magnitude of this album. I'm super excited about this because there's songs that lead singer Andy Chavez was recording before his untimely passing. And there were songs that were completely finished, and then there were songs that had some verses and some choruses, and you had to fill in the gaps. And in a situation, you're like, well, what do? Well, we'll call on our friends. You guys have been on the road, making friends and building your reputation for many years. I remember talking to Khalil from Pepper, and he couldn't stop singing the praises about you boys. So, like, here's some, just the features. The track list, there's going to be 14 songs on this. There's several songs that are 100% OG Katastro, right? And then songs like the second track, Tell Me I'm Okay, featuring Jared Watson, which I believe we have that to play.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a song that you're dropping this Friday, right?
No, that one's out.
Oh, yeah. That one's already out. That's what I thought. And see, same with the Maine. Got Light Up the Room with Iration. Good Time with both Jared and Duddy B from the Dirty Heads. We got also Slug from Atmosphere and Mouse Powell on a track. In that track, What You Live For, does Andy kind of spit bars there too?
Andy's on the chorus for that song.
Okay. Because Andy was a pretty prolific rapper as well.
Yeah, dude. What's actually really frustrating is like we had scratch that I recorded of Andy like just figuring out his raps for that.
Yeah.
And it's so fire, but it's all gibberish. Like, but his cadence and his flow is so sick. So we actually showed that to Mouse when he came into the studio, and we're like, this is kind of what Andy was doing. And Mouse like kind of used some of Andy's cadence, but like wrote his own verses.
I love it. And this is a songwriting technique that is starting to grow popular amongst lyricists. Is what they'll do is they'll kind of like scat, kind of like spit out gibberish to kind of feel the groove.
Well, that's literally all of Andy's vocals on this entire album, because
Right.
Andy didn't write things down. He would just get on the mic.
Okay, so yeah, he would
Yeah.
Jay-Z it. Yeah.
Well, even on Tell Me I'm Okay, which is out already, and I think you have that one to play, is we actually left in a little bit of Andy's kind of gibberish vocal because like the feeling was there. It almost made sense. And it was just so raw that we wanted to keep it that way instead of trying to bring somebody else in to just fill in that word.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a couple parts in the album where we did leave it like that, but our biggest goal was to make sure that it didn't feel unfinished, and we wanted this to be just the next Katastro album.
No, I love it. And, honestly, with art, it's always up for interpretation. So, the people are listening to it. Yeah, it may be technically gibberish, but they're like, no, I know what he was saying.
Yeah.
I also think that's kind of the beauty with a lot of these songs is a lot of it is Andy's first takes. So it's like the real genuineness comes across, and it's kind of just how it came out of him.
That's even more exciting, too, honestly, though, because sometimes you can't capture lightning in a bottle twice, right?
Yeah.
So like that initial feeling of what he gets from the song and the music, that instant connection, that energy that comes out without any filters, without overthinking. And sometimes you could, literally go through the process too much and lose that magic. So you're basically capturing that magic and then recreating it here on this record.
It was with losing Andy, it was really easy to kind of feel like, I wish we had this, I wish we had that, I wish we had more. We need more parts and more time with him, for this album. But it pretty quickly went back to like how lucky we are to even have as much recordings of Andy as we had for this album. I mean, this will be our longest album that we've ever released.
Yeah.
We always joke too that like it's almost as if he just like gave us he gave us exactly what he needed to do, and then he just pieced out.
Just enough.
we're like, yo, that's the most Andy thing ever. Like, but yeah, man, it's been a really insane process too, because from when he passed to now, this whole thing has unraveled, and like it's just kind of happened in front of us. The whole like making of the album and all these features on the album are people we've known for a decade plus that we've toured the country with or been friends with. Like the Maine, we've literally been friends with the Maine since we were 12. Like we have
same school.
Yeah, we have a very, very deep relationship with, pretty much all the features on this album. And like, Atmosphere, for example, was one of Andy's favorite artists. So like, initially the first conversations were like, how to if anyone's going to be on our album to help fill in these spots, they need to be people that all three of us know Andy would be extremely pumped and excited about, even if he was still here.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I know it would. Yeah, I mean, you're looking at this and you're like, oh man, this is like an all-star album, and a group effort. And so I'm very excited as well. In fact, actually, let's play a little bit here on the FM side, and we'll continue on the podcast broadcast stream. This is the song featuring our friend Jared Watson from the Dirty Heads, "Tell Me I'm Okay," which is available now. You can stream that on Spotify, but you'll hear it right here on Rock 102.1 KFMA. Check this out.
So tell me what you say, what you say, what you say at home, at home. So tell me what you say, what you say, what you say at home, at home. It's probably not the way, probably not okay at all, at all. Cause I don't really care what you say at home, at home. But I do this every day. Someone tell me I'm okay. It off and now you wanna talk. I try to scream your name with the smoker's cough. I lay my head upon your lap with the broken jaw. I'm the problem, the solution, and the only cause. You know the deal, you know the real me and the open flaws. I'd rather take a bow than some fake applause. I'd rather feel what you feel, man, you lost the plot. I have not forgot, but I do this every day. Someone tell me I'm okay.
Song on the record.
Well, that was the third single that we dropped.
Okay. Why am I not keeping up to see? I have
You're good, bro.
You're liked on my Spotify. I don't know. You just pop up on my Spotify. I just listen. I'm just rocking out the Katastro all the time. So, okay. Well, let's the feature. Then I guess the song that you're gonna be releasing Friday, that we're gonna be airing for Tucson, and I guess the world here for the first time, right? You haven't gonna play your radio debut before you drop it on the streaming services is going to be Tell Me I'm Okay.
No,
our favorite song.
It's called Our Favorite Song. That was the song we just played was Tell Me I'm Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay. You know what? I'll get things wrong a lot. Let's answer the phone. Rock 102.1, who's this?
Hey, it's Edward.
What up, Edward?
Hey, I just wanted to say thanks for playing them. Yeah, I know you didn't get to play very much of that band, but actually I think I might start listening to them on Spotify a lot more.
Oh, you should, dude. And honestly, you go down the entire catalog, and it's just fantastic. They have so many. They have 3, 4 great records.
8.
You have 8 records. You have
8 or 9.
There's about 4 great ones,
Just a couple.
and
then 4 okay ones.
Yeah, no, but Edward, we're going to be playing another Katastro song here on the air in its entirety, and this will be kind of like the world premiere. So. Stick around for that. But yes, definitely like them on Spotify and get them in your rotation. You won't be disappointed.
All right. I definitely appreciate it. And hopefully your boss doesn't yell at you for playing.
You know what, though? I got kind of big dick energy around here. I'll be okay. I'll take it on the chin for this one. And he knows, actually my boss is cool, Mac. And when it's like a special kind of thing, then, he's an old school Arizona legend as well, Larry Mack.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So he knows. He knows when it's time to show some love.
I definitely appreciate you guys playing them, and I'll definitely get them on my rotation.
Right on. Well, thanks, Edward. Thanks for listening. Join us on the podcast, all right?
All right.
All right. Take it easy, brother. Yeah, so Tucson showing love. As simple as that.
That's cool.
That's awesome, man.
We're converting them.
I know. You fucking 8-9 albums? What are you talking about?
We got a lot of.
You can't count every EP.
We got lots of work out there, man.
You can't count every EP.
I think this is album 8, bro. I'm pretty sure.
Album 8 or EP 8.
No, album. So we got General Predator.
Yes.
We got No Mud, No Lotus.
Poking.
Strange Nights.
This is almost like
I thought those are
a
EPs.
pop quiz. Like, which one do you remember?
Just Poking Holes
Sucker is a great album, by the way.
Sucker.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'd have to pull it up, but I'm pretty sure we're on album 7 or 8.
All right. Bones 2. That's an album? Bones did not hit my radar.
Those are the acoustic.
Those are the acoustic albums.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess you could count them.
You look at you. Yeah. But it's the same songs. You're doing remixes and shit like that. See, you can't fuck with me like that. That's nonsense. All right.
We rearrange them, man.
Yeah. It's like there's 3 remix albums. Like, no, let's talk about the albums, right? Like Sucker is a great album. Let's play. Let me pull up Sucker. And this was your last full length album, and The Way I Feel was on this one. Which was the lead single. I played The Way I Feel on radio as well. Love this one. It's great too as Andy kind of developed his vocal style and turned into a singer, right? And probably never knew that he could sing, but had great melody and ended up just being just a great live singer. So I mean, even was there a point when you guys were playing? Because I know he started rapping.
Yeah.
But you're like, actually, that sounds good. You should probably keep on singing.
Bro, the first song we ever made when we started the band in my garage, we made this song called Sunrise, and Andy sings on the hook. But he didn't like to sing. He had just sometimes it would come out and we'd be like, oh, it's cool. But he would always be like, oh, I'm not a good singer. Right. And through the years, he really developed into such a dope singer. And
dude, I mean, but for most of our career, he was always thought of himself as more of a rapper, and he did work on singing. He got so much better over the years, and more confident is really what changed everything. Because he was already good. I think he just needed that confidence in himself. But we would be on tour, and he's like, I'm just gonna rap these ones instead of singing them. We're like, nah, dude.
Bro, Tanner found a voicemail. Or a voice memo on his phone of us at band practice years ago of us covering a Lou Reed song, and Andy's vocals sound so good.
Yeah.
It's one of the dopest vocal recordings, and it's just off an iPhone, but we should
just
probably
a voice note,
Yeah.
But I think because he was such an Eminem guy, and then he kind of was introduced to the Chili Peppers, and that's when he kind of crossed over.
When
into
we were
singing more melodic.
For sure.
There's similarities there too, though.
Yeah.
When we were seniors in high school, I burned Andy a CD of Blood Sugar Sex Magic by the Chili's.
Yeah.
And he listened to that, and a light bulb went off in his head. He's like, bro, what? Kiedis, he raps, but he sings? It changed his whole idea of, I guess, what he could do or, what the band could be.
Yeah.
Really interesting. It was, a pivotal moment, though. I remember, he got really into that album, and
you could see, honestly, that would be an easy comparison to saying what is Katastro like as far as bands, the Chili Peppers connection kind of thing. It's like Anthony Kiedis, good-looking dude, started off as a rapper and then started developing a singing style over the years and found a voice that is completely unique to his own and sounds amazing, right? And that Andy was on that same path and did the same thing and still had that lead singer swagger, which, a lot of people don't have.
Right.
So,
yeah, you either have that you either have that or you don't.
You can say shit. That's
Okay,
fine.
yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
That was a good catch, though, huh?
Yeah, it was. Look at you. You're a pro.
Yeah.
And, of course, when you called up these people to be on the album, there was no hesitation, right? Everyone's like, bam, I'm in.
Yeah, I mean, the first person that I'm not even kidding, I think the first person I called after we had found out Andy passed was Jared, because we had just spent a week in the studio with him and Duddy. And immediately everyone was like, dude, whatever you need, we got you. So, obviously we knew the close friends around us. There wasn't really hesitation with anybody, man.
Yeah.
It was everyone really showed up to just be there for us and be there for Andy. And it's still kind of crazy to even think about, man. I feel like we all feel very fortunate to have friendship like that within music. And that's the cool thing about music, is that it really does provide this community of people to share that kind of tight bond, you know?
Yeah, well, and also this kind of reggae rock community is more, to me, it's a tight knit type of community. You see the bands, a certain family of bands going on tour each and every year, kind of intermixing and stuff to get into that circle and stuff. They kind of take care of each other.
Dude, we become such good friends with like Iration and Dirty Heads. Like, we spent so many years touring with these guys. You become brothers with these people, and and they all like really stepped up when we lost Andy. They knew that we needed them, and this album truly is a testament to that friendship, I think.
Yeah, I believe so as well. And it was a beautiful thing if you're going to take away and look at silver lining, the outpouring of love, not only from the fan base but from all the different artists that were like stepping up to say something, and the amount of attention that it got nationally, which is not the type of attention you necessarily want.
No.
But if you're honoring a life and legacy, and it meant a difference, like it made a difference, like it meant something, and it was a gut punch for a lot of people, and it was somewhat it was just nice to see that that the impact was far and wide, and it wasn't just a tight little Arizona circle or even tight reggae circle.
That's nice of you to say that, because I feel like for the three of us, I know it was very helpful to have that pouring in of love from it took us literally months to get through the amount of DMs that we had and messages that we had from people all across the country and the world, like expressing their love for Andy and expressing the love for the band. And for us three, just to deal with the fact that we lost Andy was brutal enough, but then it was also very overwhelming to have that kind of like public response to it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think anyone could ever train you for that kind of situation, or like.
There was that moment when you're like grieving the loss of like our brother, but also grieving like our own career and like the way things were going.
I know.
But then it's like you are looking at all this outpouring love, and there was this one specific moment where I just remember like realizing that we had already made it. You know what I mean? We weren't to all these different standards that I had set in my head of like what we should be by this age or where we should be and how much money or this or that.
Right.
But looking at the love that was pouring in, I just had this feeling of like, we did it. Like me as like a 13-year-old looking at where I'm at right now would be absolutely floored, because this is what I've wanted my entire life, was for people to care, you know?
And you guys, you lived that life. You went all in, you bet on yourself and your friendship, and it worked, and it would have and could have continued to grow. So I mean, I did not only mourn the loss of Andy, but I did feel you guys' pain, because you guys were there, and you know what, the good thing is, once you saw the dust settle and after the memorial and stuff, you realize you're still there, you still have those connections, and you're still within that realm, and you can still move forward as a musician and stuff. It's going to be, obviously there will always be that part missing, you know what I mean, because that brotherhood, but
realizing it's not over, it's different now, was a big step.
You guys should be
me.
proud, dude. You should be proud, because we've seen lots of bands come and go. A lot of people had that goal and didn't even get remotely close to where you guys were. You guys hit a lot of bucket list moments for a lot of people out there, and that's huge to represent not only your friendship, but your town, your scene, everything. You guys did it for a lot of people. So I'm super proud of you guys, and I'm glad that you were able to do so much, and I'm excited about what you're going to be able to do next. So let's get ready to debut this single, okay? All right. Rock 102.1 KFMA, that's Chris Cornell with Patience. That's kind of fitting, right? Legacies live on. That's a good thing about music, too. When you record something, you create something that's sometimes timeless, because it goes on, especially in this digital age. Who knows, in 100 years from now, who will come across Katastro after we're all long gone, right? And then rock it, because it could be all like just saved in the database. They're going to come across a Spotify page, which I will probably be dead by then. But, the files, the music will live on, and especially when you have the fandom that Katastro has. So there's a new album that they're going to release on October 4th. You should follow Katastro online and link up if you're not already, because there's going to be a lot of cool things coming up here within the next few months as they celebrate the release of this album. And, of course, with all this great features, and they're rolling out songs, like every couple weeks, something like that, releasing singles to kind of just give people a great idea of this concept in this album that they put together after Andy's passing. And what we've learned so far is with these track vocals that you have with Andy, you were, able to not only just put this together in song form, but also create an album around it and rewrite musically to fit those vocals even better, to come up with a sound that will capture this, And honestly, you've heard these songs ad nauseum at this point. Like, how proud are you of this record?
It's like the biggest accomplishment our band's ever made, man.
Yeah.
It's insane that we even were able to finish an album, and on top of dealing with what we've dealt with for the past 2 years. So I'm like, it like almost gets me choked up, but I'm like really proud of the band, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
should
really
be
proud of all three of us, and it's rad, dude.
It feels like once it was finished, like this was the project that I've been trying to make my entire life. Like it took a lot of difficult times to get to it, but coming through and having it help us kind of heal after the loss of Andy, I'm so proud of each of us. And these songs are amazing. They're not amazing considering the circumstances. Like, I'm just so proud of them on their own as standalone Katastro tracks.
Yeah, I love it. And on this record too, obviously you have tons of features, but there's about 4 or 5 songs that are 100% Andy, right?
Yeah.
The song that we're gonna play right now is our favorite song. Is that the lead single?
This is the
lead song on the record.
This is the first song off the new album.
Yeah, and this is 100. This.
Oh, Andy.
Yep. Oh well, it's 100% Katastro. The 4 brothers that started, a band in high school that, logged lots of miles on the road together, who had fantastic nights and shows, and also stranded on the road sometimes, had some terrible hangovers and a bunch of other stories in between. All that goes into this lead song, which would be the first song off of the record that is being dropped in October, and I want to share it with you right now in its entirety on the FM side. You want to introduce it?
This is Our Favorite Song by Katastro.
I should press play. Well.
So perfect, and I hope you heard it while you listen to our favorite song. Ooh, you really gotta believe me when I say you make it look easy. Ooh, pick me up when I'm broken. Ooh, look at us, we're coasting now. Just call me up when you need it. I'll show you off, no secret. Ooh, and they ain't gotta believe me. Ooh, they ain't gotta believe me. And I found you. And I say you give me a reason when I'm stuck but I'm still healing. We'll be dancing tonight evening while we listen to our favorite song. Just know that you deserve it, and tonight you look so perfect. And I hope you heard it while you listen to our favorite song. Ooh, you really gotta believe me when I say you make it look easy. Want that too? No, you want that too. Just call me up when you need it. Show me off, no secret. Want that too? No, you want that too. And I found you. And I found you. And I say you give me a reason when I'm stuck but I'm still healing. We'll be dancing tonight while we listen to our favorite song. Just know that you deserve it, and tonight you look so perfect. And I hope you heard it while you listen to our favorite song. And I say you give me a reason when I'm stuck but I'm still healing. We'll be dancing tonight while we listen to our favorite song. Just know that you deserve it, and tonight you look so perfect. And I hope you heard it while you listen to our favorite song. And 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 I say you give me a reason when I'm stuck but I'm still healing. We'll be dancing in the evening while we listen to our favorite song. Just know that you deserve it, and tonight you look so perfect. And I hope you heard it while you listen to our favorite song. I say you give me a reason when I'm stuck but I'm still healing. We'll be dancing in the evening while we listen to our favorite song. Just know that you deserve it, and tonight you look so perfect. And I hope you heard it while you listen to our favorite song.
That's Katastro, our favorite song. That's going to be the first song off of Until the End of Time, the new album from Katastro that drops on October 4th. And I want to take this moment to thank you guys for giving me the opportunity. And I know we go way back, right? And, I've been a fan and proud of you guys for a long time. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share this with our audience for the first time. It means a lot to me. All right. We have comments here on the podcast broadcast stream that we're going to talk about. So you can join us, youtube.com/BeFegan. Be back with more after these words on Rock 102.1 KFMA. Clear. All right. See?
Yeah, you're really good at this.
Yeah. Well, actually, I didn't have your mic on, so go ahead and say it again. Not that good.
Hey.
Yeah. Still mess up.
I can't understand how you can like stream of consciousness, like just keep talking and then also be looking at what's next on.
Yeah. You see my eyes kind of dart like, boom, boom, and then also look at comments. It's a lot. Depends on the caffeine intake.
Yeah, I see that big coffee over there. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't fuck around. And honestly, I'll tell you my strategy in the morning. I start off with an espresso shot from Starbucks, right? Those in those cans.
Yeah.
So I wake up in the morning and like a junkie, I'm just like, boom, I slam that, then get this and kind of like pace this one out throughout the whole morning. Yeah. And then,
do it.
yeah, then just crash hard afterwards.
That's how we do it, man.
Let's see. If the volumes were a little off there or the levels and stuff, that's my StreamYard, and I apologize for that. Hopefully it didn't blow out your speakers too much. But on the FM side, I'm sure it sounds fantastic. I'm still working on StreamYard. I had Johnny Congos from the band Congos on like a week or so ago.
Oh, cool.
He's my buddy.
We played with those guys once at Red Rocks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, and actually, Red Rocks is a bucket list for me. I always want to walk that tunnel. And see all the autographs and try to spot them. So it was great to see you guys play at Red Rocks. But with that, he was on and he was all like kind of piped in to be able to do performances and intermix. He has a good little podcast set up as well, but it fucked up my sound levels and I haven't been able to recover yet.
Shit.
Yeah. So we're still working on that. Lots of love from the Katastro fam on here. So, like Jamie, said, nothing but love. We shared Mikey's comment here, which I thought was awesome, talking about Arizona Roots 2020. And he decided.
His friend's name is insane. That's like a Keith Kachuk ass name. Litwinsiksuk.
Where's that?
Lincechuk.
Yeah.
He was a hockey player, so you can read that.
That's Lincechuk, dude.
Lincechuk, yeah.
There you go.
Does he play for the Coyotes?
That is a Keith Kachuk ass name.
Yeah, it is.
I like the way you just said that. That's awesome.
Yeah, he talked about they're chilling backstage out of nowhere. Andy started freestyling and playing, and it blew his mind. And then the three of them just kicked it, and he never pulled out his phone. Just lived in a moment. I remember talking when Andy was for the last record. What song was where he was talking about? Was it Acid Trip or Tripping on Molly?
I don't know which song was that.
Yeah, which one? Was it the entire album?
Throw a dart at Sucker.
It partied like a rock star too. With the I don't want to get into the Tesla shit too much, but is there like was the family ever kind of like compensated for this? Did they ever figure out what the hell the issue was? Because to me, it seemed like it was autopilot on a Tesla in a construction zone, and it was one of those issues where, these kind of tragedies continue to pop up with this. I
mean, I don't think it's really our place to talk about that kind of stuff.
That's fair. That's fair.
But, Andy wasn't driving.
Yeah.
I hope people know that. I mean, people should know that by now, but he was in the back seat of the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I bring it up. I personally was pissed and still pissed by that because it feels like it's something that didn't need to happen at all. And I, any reason to blame Elon Musk, I guess, is a good enough reason.
Oh, trust me, I still have an unreasonable hatred towards Teslas.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. And then now this is Waymos, right? So you guys are up
Dude,
in Phoenix.
I won't do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Fuck.
good.
Yeah, these
But
autopilot cars are
okay.
bullshit. Yeah.
I haven't gotten in one either. I'm not really a fan of it, but I have been in a lot of Ubers that have probably made me want to take a Waymo.
That's true.
It's fair.
Like I've been in some sketchy Uber, like dude, on tour especially. I feel like there's been a lot of
Oh my
tours where
God.
we get in an Uber to get from the venue to the hotel, and it's like I almost died many times.
Yeah.
A lot of sketchy Uber drivers.
Yeah, of course, they're all methy, and I'll tell you what, there's a difference between Uber drivers and Lyft drivers, right? So I take Lyft, and the reason why I take Lyft is that I spent a summer doing both, right?
Yeah.
Driving Lyft and Uber, and the process of becoming a Lyft driver seemed like it was me trying to get a job, right? The process to become an Uber driver was literally like a meat factory, just like you just showing up and like take a number and then glancing out the window like, yeah, you're good to go. And that's it. Like when I sat down for Lyft, I had to sit and meet with somebody, right? Have like an interview.
Wow.
Yeah. And then took a test drive with the person. They had to check out the car, take a bunch of notes, blah, 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 blah. And then boom, you're approved to be Lyft.
You might have just converted me.
I'm telling
I did
you.
not
I
know
had
that
no
either. I'm
idea.
taking Lyft from here on out.
Yeah.
'Cause, dude, how many times I get an Uber and it's like Jessica's gonna pick you up and it's like her drug addict boyfriend.
Yes.
And it's 2 a.m. and you're drunk and you're just like, I don't have the time to like wait. I mean, you have the time, but
Yeah.
you're like, I'm getting in this car. Whatever happens, happens. You know.
get that now with like DoorDash and like restaurant delivery.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
you're
why I
like-
just say leave at the
It's
door.
like,
You're like,
oh,
you're not Jessica.
You're not Tracy.
Yeah.
You're
It's-
Carl.
Yeah.
For only like $30 more, you can have somebody smoke a blunt all over your sandwich and drive it to your house. You ever get your food and it just smells so bad?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I had just the other day. I was like, is this a cigarette burn on the outside of my fuck, dude? I still ate it. But no, one time, normally I just have them leave at the door, right? I'm like, I don't want any interaction because the one time I did say, you know what? I'm just gonna meet them right outside. They're right outside. I'm just gonna grab the food from them. It was a cracked out girl, right? And she had her boyfriend driving or a guy, and it was super sketch. And then she's trying to like small talk with me. And then she's like, oh, you smell good. I'm like, what? It's like, you smell good. What are you wearing? And I'm like, I literally just got out of the shower like not too long ago.
Say
I'm like,
Aqua
almost in
Soap.
pajamas. I go, soap, correct? Oh, well, that sounds really good. Like, okay, thank you very much. Lock. Turn off all the lights. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. So never again will I meet with one of those because I know they're not vetting them.
Yeah.
But back to the Uber Lyft difference is they vet strictly on the Lyft, or at least they did. And then Uber, when I went there, literally it was this just office building, and then they just pick out what's your car? I'm like, that one over there. All right, there you go, and you're approved. And that was it. Didn't even look inside. Couldn't even tell if I had a body in the trunk or not. I didn't, but I could have.
Not that day.
I had an Uber driver once, and he was like, "How's your day going?" I was like, "Oh, pretty good. How about yours?" He goes, "Every day is misery." And then he just looked forward and didn't say a word for like 10 minutes. And I was like, this might be my last ride.
And just starts driving towards a cliff.
Yeah, he's just like, every day is misery. And he looked just so like kind of sickly that I was like, this guy, he doesn't have anything left.
No, yeah.
Yo, I've seen. There's been at least a couple times where the three of us are at the studio and Ryan orders Uber Eats or DoorDash.
Yeah,
and,
one of them.
and the moment he opens his food and comes in the studio, he like realizes this may have been tampered with. He throws his food away and he'll just go get something else.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Because Ryan, I don't know if you know this, but Ryan has a serious fear of food poisoning.
do you?
Yeah.
Have
He's like-
you ever been food poisoned like when you were
Multiple
younger?
times, yeah.
Yeah. So you're just like never again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. And honestly, it's hard to tell. There are some places that protect your food, like the restaurants will protect your food from the
Close it.
driver.
Yeah, like
and they got the
tape it up.
seal and all
Yep.
that stuff.
Wait,
and then,
does sharing food with meth heads give you food poisoning?
I mean, I feel like you're pretty close there. Yeah.
yeah.
You're pretty close.
If you're not accustomed to meth and they blow meth smoke all over it, I'm sure it's going to affect you one way or another.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's
Yeah.
the thing is like even them touching my like bag, is enough to gross me out. Yeah, I feel bad for the homeless situation.
Well, yeah,
but
dude, but
I
you're
don't
not
want
getting
them
food delivered from
fixing
them.
me dinner. I don't want them fixing me dinner.
Yeah. Like,
Okay.
I'll volunteer at the soup kitchen
I'll
to
fix
give
you
them
dinner.
shit. Yeah. Don't give it to me.
Dinner's on me. I don't want dinner on you.
I don't blame you.
I would say that's reasonable. That's reasonable.
That's 100% reasonable. 100%. You know, you put together a bunch of great little social media clips. What is this?
We are Katastro. We started our band 17 years ago in a garage in Tempe, Arizona. It took years of living in a van and playing in cities we've never heard of to build a loyal fan base across the world. And what started out as a daydream in high school was finally coming true.
Only hours after leaving the studio on May 12th, 2022, we lost our singer Andy Chavez in a tragic car accident. While grieving the loss of our best friend, we quickly realized we needed to finish what we had started. Over the past 2 years, we dug through every recording session and demo we could find in hope of discovering some of his lost vocal takes.
What felt like an impossible task turned into a full-length album with Andy singing on every song, and we were able to bring in some of our favorite artists to help fill in the missing pieces. Thank you for being there for us when we needed you the most. We have finished the final album.
I love it. Are you guys doing a documentary along with this?
Yeah, I mean, all that stuff is going to be in the works for sure.
Yeah.
We're really focused on just getting the album out correctly right now and rolling that out too.
You ever heard of Netflix?
Yeah.
No, I think there will be there will be a documentary on Katastro on Netflix someday.
Yeah. I don't doubt it here. We're back on the air. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA as we wrap things up with Katastro. And we're just checking out what's essentially like a sizzle reel on their social media page to talk about the story behind the album Until the End of Time, which is going to be released in its entirety on October 4th. And, of course, there's singles that are being released through Spotify, so you can listen to songs from that album right now on demand, anywhere you stream music. And, when you put this together, are you going to have a special vinyl as well? So you got that in the works and make that all customized and tricked out?
Yeah, it's gonna be rad.
So, in a way, when you put together this record, and I just saw images just in that little reel that we saw on Instagram. You guys have been together 17 years. You guys go way back from high school. You have, 2 decades of memories together that I'm sure you documented. Is that going to be featured in like the physical release of the vinyl? You got a bunch of pictures and nostalgia in there?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, there is. That's for sure.
Our graphic artist did a great job, and just we wanted people to be able to open it and kind of see the story.
Yeah.
And see us as kids and us as, when we first started the band to now and where we're at today. So
Yeah. Have you shown Andy's family the stuff that you put together? So
Yeah.
they know what the final product looks like?
Yeah, man, they've been a part of the process the whole time. It's been really fun, like whenever we get the art or whenever we get new mix revisions done or, whenever there's like a new development happening, they've been along the whole ride and,
Andy's dad actually did backing vocals on the song we played earlier.
Our favorite song.
They're quiet in there, but we had him in the studio.
He just yells at us to turn him up every time.
Yeah.
You gotta turn me up, brother.
Did he offer to, take the mantle or whatever, or grab the torch and be like, I'll tour with you guys. We got this.
It was epic, dude. It was so epic having Andy's dad in the studio because, if you spend more than a couple minutes with Andy's father, you realize very quickly where Andy got his humor and stage presence from because Jim just has this way of literally just lighting up a room, and he's got that magnetic thing about him that Andy had, So having him come and sing on one of the songs was so cool because, when we got done that day in the studio, he just looked at us and he's like, man, I've never sang on a song with Andy. This is so cool. And it was like him being able to kind of live in Andy's shoes that day and put the headphones on and get up on the mic. And, it was like him, dude, it was so beautiful.
Yeah,
it's
a
so
beautiful
cool.
moment for a father and his son. And you gifted him that too. And that's beautiful as well. Damn. Yeah. That's heavy, dude. Yeah. So what's the plan next? Well, actually, before you answer that, I just also want to say that the memorial that you put together, or just the gathering that you had at the Marquee Theater shortly after news broke, that was beautiful. Of the amount of people that came out and showed their love.
So a fan started that.
Really?
Which is wild. Yeah, one fan went to Marquee and they hung up a little sign and had a candle, I believe, right?
Yeah.
And then a bunch of other fans started showing up just because of that one fan. And then all of a sudden, Andy's family, Andy's parents called the three of us and they said, you know, I think we're going to go head down to this memorial that the fans started at Marquee. Like, do you guys want to go with us? And we were like, sure. And we went. And, you know, it's still to this day, that was one of the most life-changing experiences I personally have ever had, because that was the moment, you know, earlier when we were talking, when Ryan said, you know, we had this realization that we did make it. We did achieve incredible success as a band. That,
Absolutely.
for me, was that moment where I saw all these people together, really loving each other and crying and getting through it, and like just everyone showing up together, and everyone's walls were broken down and everyone was just there for each other. And to me, that was like very much a moment that kind of resembles what this album is all about.
Yeah, you gave me goosebumps and talking about that. And I saw the videos and live streams when it was happening in real time. It's crazy. And you're right.
I've never felt that much love in one spot, bro. It was nuts.
Ooh,
So,
I know.
The Marquee Theater
heavy.
put a painting of Andy up next to like all the greats on their
Oh, good.
wall
They
inside.
immortalized him.
It's
That's what was
amazing,
going to be my next question. So shout out Tom LaPena, Marquee Theater for doing that, and rightfully so, dude. Well, you look, this is all the time we have on the FM side. We have a couple minutes we'll do on a podcast broadcast. But once again, I'd like to thank all three of you. You know, Tanner, Stravs, Ryan, you know, you guys, great work, excellent work. I can't wait to hear the entire album. Katastro is the name of the band. Make sure you follow them on social media and be looking forward to Until the End of Time when it drops on October 4th. You can join us youtube.com/bfegan. We'll be back tomorrow morning bright and early. Robin Ash is up next. Enjoy the rest of your day. Drive safe, ride safe, and as always, rock local. Later. All right, so I had to squeeze in a commercial for 10 o'clock, and then that was our FM sign-off and stuff. But, yeah, I was... Well, fucking beautiful, boys, and you know, long time coming, and so I'm glad that you guys were able to join us and stuff, and I can't wait for whatever announcement you're gonna make as far as doing this like CD release show. I see Mouse Powell doing stuff.
Can we say, you know, if you're listening right now, we're still on, right?
Yeah, we're still on the stream.
October 25th and October 26th, save the date for Tempe, Arizona.
Okay,
and more details are coming soon, but you know.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
We want people to, if you're listening to the stream and you're a fan of our band, really mark those dates on your calendar. And yeah.
Yeah, I don't doubt you guys. You've obviously been in the lab. You've been working a lot. So if you're gonna put something together, I know there's gonna be a lot of time, effort, thought behind it to make it something.
Everything feels so much more important now. That every little detail is scrutinized. We used to do that, but it was like for no reason, and now it's like you know, everything has to be thought of before we do it, and it all has to be done with intention. So it's been a different kind of side to the whole business for us, is every time we want to do, you know, some sort of gathering of fans or whatever it is, we have to like fully dive into it and make it something really special for them.
Yeah. Well, you could tell the effort's there. You know, you could see it, you know, and the quality of it. So that's good. Real quick before we wrap things up, I'd like to shout out and thank Gonzo. Always keep me in the loop and making this happen. Gonzo's a good dude.
Wait, who's that? Who's that?
Yeah.
Shout out Gonzo, man. Our manager's awesome. Love Gonzo.
He was always on point and stuff, and you know, and like he always keeps me in the loop with you guys as well. So I always kind of get a sneak peek of what you guys are up to before you release it to the public, and you know those are hipster points. I take those. You know, I'm proud of those.
So he's a leaker. He's leaking all our
He
stuff to
leaks.
you.
He shares with me. He said, "Don't share with no one." And then I throw it up on websites in Russia, so they rock your shit months before it comes out to the public. But it hasn't been beyond Russia, so don't worry. Yeah, but they do owe you rubles. Tons of rubles.
Okay, good.
You guys hungry? You want to go? I got a spot right down the street that you know. If you want to try like the best burrito that you've had in your life.
What time is it?
It's 10 o'clock.
Oh, I gotta get back to Phoenix pretty soon, so I'm not sure if we have time, but
it's a quick spot.
Quick spot.
Yeah, it's a quick spot.
It's a quick, and it's worth it.
We'll see. Let me see. I'll have to make a phone call real quick.
All right. Well, everyone on the stream, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe as always, and don't forget to follow Katastro if you're not already, which I'm sure you are. Thank you guys for watching. We're out of here.
Thanks for having us, bro.